Hi everyone, a very good morning to all of you. Today we are going to discuss about dual nature of radiation and matter. It's all about dual nature of radiation and matter. So, in this whole chapter, there are two types of questions. One is based on photoelectric effect and another one is de Broglie hypothesis. But I am sure two questions they will give from this chapter. One on photoelectric effect and another on de Broglie hypothesis, where the only key thing is calculation. You have to do the calculation properly. That's it. That is the main thing. Nothing else you have to do with it. 99.999% the question will come based on formula and you have to apply the suitable formula with a proper unit conversion and with a fast and perfect calculation. Then you will get 100% damn sure marks. So now here, when you consider first photoelectric effect, what is the first thing you should understand here is what is photon. So when a metal surface exposed to light radiation, then electron emits by absorbing that energy. And if you consider the energy of the photon or light, because here when you consider the light we consider in the form of photons. So light is coming means we imagine that it is coming in the form of pocket of energy, one pocket of energy, and each pocket of energy is E, and that we call it as photon. And electron will absorb that energy, and if that energy is sufficient, I mean greater or equal to some minimum energy required for the surface to emit electron, then photoelectric effect happens, and this phenomena of emission of electrons with the help of light energy, we call it as photoelectric effect, and the condition is this one. And here first thing you should understand the photon energy. So photon is nothing but pocket of energy of light. So that energy is hc by lambda or h nu. So every photon has some energy. Every light is sum of many photons and each photon is having some particular energy, and that formula is this one. Where here usually they will give wavelength. So this formula we can write it as 12,400 by lambda, you can substitute in terms of angstrom, then energy of photon you will get directly in terms of electron volt. Or else if they give in nanometer, lambda in nanometer means 1240 by lambda in nanometer, then energy of photon you will get electron volt. Most of the questions we deal with energy in terms of electron volt. Suppose in any question they have given joules, then you need to know the conversion that 1 electron volt means 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 joules. That means 1 electron volt energy means if you take 1 electron having charge E and accelerate through a potential difference of 1 volt, generally a charge accelerated through a potential difference means work done is charge into a potential difference, that is equal to change in kinetic energy. So that means that is the energy acquired. So that's why 1 electron volt we call it as. So 1 electron volt nothing but energy, kinetic energy gained by an electron from rest when it accelerated through a potential difference V. So that is the energy of photon, the very first thing you have to understand. And the next thing what you have to understand here is how many photons are there in a light. So based on that question will come, that is suppose this is a metal surface and light is coming and falling. Let's take there are n number of photons. So there are n photons means 1 photon energy h nu. So n photons energy is nh nu divided by time. This is called power. So what is this? Power of the light. So this is power. Now based on this power also they will give questions like here they may give this power value where power is nothing but nh nu by t. But most of the time they mention like per second. So t value what it will become? 1 second. So here n is number of photons, h nu is energy of photon, t is time. So number of photons hitting per second is called power. So based on this formula also they can ask questions. Now the another thing is what they can ask here is about Einstein photoelectric equation. So what it says is there is a metal surface and every metal surface requires some minimum amount of energy, then only that will emit the electron. That means the minimum energy required for a particular surface is pi and the energy falling is E, photon energy. And as I said, E must be greater than or equal to pi. So in terms of wavelength, if you express this one, this formula is hc by lambda naught or h nu naught. That means the light of the frequency and wavelength of the light falling on the surface should be such that they should satisfy this condition. That means E should be greater than or equal to pi means h nu, where nu is the frequency of the light that should be greater than or equal to some minimum frequency. Then only the photoelectric emission takes place. Similarly, in terms of wavelength, the wavelength of the light must be such that hc by lambda naught means lambda should be less than or equal to lambda naught. So for every surface there is a minimum energy required, there is a minimum frequency required, there is a maximum wavelength required. Means the light which is falling on the surface that must have energy, photon energy greater or equal to the minimum energy required, or the frequency of the light must be greater or equal to some minimum frequency. Similarly, the wavelength of the light must be lesser or equal to some particular wavelength. This is threshold frequency, this is threshold wavelength, this is work function. Now when a photon falls on it, different electrons will emit from the surface, and the one electron which needed minimum energy means this much, so that will come out of with maximum kinetic energy. So there are so many electrons. One electron needed less energy, one electron needed more energy. But the electron which needed least energy, and that least energy we call it as work function, and that electron will come out of the surface with maximum kinetic energy, where E equal to h nu minus h nu naught equal to k maximum. K maximum also we can write it as half m v maximum square, or else hc by lambda minus hc by lambda naught equal to k maximum. So these are the different forms of equation which is given by Einstein. So these are called Einstein photoelectric equation. So based on this the questions can come. So here data they will give, that's it. So one of the equation you have to use, what is the data they have given, then you have to substitute and calculate. Now we will solve the question, don't worry, you will understand. I will solve all the different type of questions what they will ask in the entrance. All those questions we will discuss. Now the next thing what they will ask based on the same photoelectric effect is based on experimental study. So in a simple manner I will tell you, see, in an experimental study, see there one cathode and anode. So they will connect like a circuit and that is fixed in a chamber. So the light falls on it. So this is like partial one. So it can allow the light. So as light falls on this cathode, then it emits electrons. as I said, electron may emit, just emit, electron may emit with some kinetic energy, but few electrons will emit with maximum kinetic energy, which needed minimum energy. Now, what happens is here, the electrons which come out with some kinetic energy and which can reach the other end, that is called anode, they will complete the circuit and one current will be produced here, and that current we call it as photocurrent. Now, if you consider this photocurrent is proportional to, current is proportional to charge. So the charge is proportional to number of electrons. Number of electrons proportional to number of photons. See, number of electrons, and that is proportional to number of photons. Because one photon can emit one electron only. And here number of electrons means that is proportional to power. But power means intensity. So final conclusion is intensity is proportional to current, or current is proportional to intensity. If intensity of light, incident light increases, then photocurrent increases because number of photons increases, which emit more number of electrons, so that more charge will flow, so that more current will be there, and this current is called photocurrent. So if you draw the graph between photocurrent and intensity, it will be a straight line passing through origin. This is the first thing we will understand from here, that is experimental study. What is the first observation? As you increase the intensity, then what happens? Photocurrent increases. Next thing. Now you consider that photocurrent. So you take the photocurrent on y-axis. Now initially we have not applied any voltage to anode. Anode voltage is now 0. Then electrons, whoever has kinetic energy, sufficient kinetic energy, they reach it, they complete the circle and they will produce some current. So this is anode potential. Potential of anode. VA, potential of anode. Now when anode potential is 0, there is some current. Now when you increase positive potential, so this side. So as electron is negative charge, positive potential will pull them. So who cannot reach, suppose one electron is able to reach till here only. So that also it can pull it. So because of positive potential you apply, more electron will be pulled towards anode, so that more electrons will complete, so more current. So current slowly increases, and after some time it becomes constant. That is called saturation current. Now suppose if you started giving negative, -1, -2, so on, you are increasing. Then what happens? The electron will get repulsion from that negative potential. So at a particular negative potential, the current completely becomes 0. That is called negative anode potential, which can stop the photocurrent. That's why it is called stopping potential. What we call it as? Stopping potential. Now here if you take, there are different type of graphs will come. See, one is, see, intensity is different, but potential is same. So what does that mean? See, three different saturation currents are there. So current depends on what? Intensity. That means these intensities are in the increasing order. But here anode potential is same. What is anode potential? The anode potential, negative anode potential, which you have to apply so that you can stop all the electrons. How can you stop all the electrons? If you stop the electron with maximum kinetic energy, remaining will be stopped automatically. That means the change in kinetic energy equal to Q into V, that is EV naught. Then the equation of photoelectric equation will become EV naught equal to H nu minus H nu naught. So the V naught value depends on what? Frequency of light. So if frequency is more, then V naught is more. If frequency is less, then V naught is less. but there is no relation between the stopping potential and intensity. Intensity changes only current. Now here one more graph you can take that. See here. Now like this. See, for all these three, saturation current is same means intensity same. But stopping potential is different. So this is more means this frequency is greater, this frequency greater than this frequency. So more frequency means more stopping potential. So now the equation will be changed. In place of K maximum, you can write EV naught. So now based on this also, they can ask the questions. Now, here, one more thing also they can ask you based on this. So what is that? That is, just consider that equation K max equal to H nu minus H nu naught. K max means EV naught equal to H nu minus H nu naught. So V naught equal to H nu by E minus H nu naught by E. Now you draw a graph between V naught on y axis, nu on x axis. Then it is like a constant, like slope, and this is like a constant, intercept. So what kind of graph should come? Straight line with negative intercept, like this. Positive slope but negative intercept. And here if angle is theta, then tan theta is slope. So what is there in the place of slope? H by E. And if you know this intercept, what is there in the place of intercept? H nu naught by E. So they can ask you to draw the graph, or they can give the graph and they can ask any data. So based on this also, they can ask you the question. So this is about the photoelectric effect. Such kind of questions will come. So we'll try to see as maximum questions as possible, different type of questions. Now the other one is simple. See, one single equation will be there. So based on which you can solve all the questions. That is de Broglie hypothesis. I don't want to say much. It's very simple that if a particle is moving with some velocity, then its linear momentum is mv, and then kinetic energy is half mv square, or else p square by 2m, then linear momentum is 2mk. Then what he said is, every particle moving with some velocity associated with some wave, that is called matter wave, and that wavelength associated with every matter wave or every particle is h by p, where p is linear momentum, or else mv, or else h by root 2mk, or else in case of charge the kinetic energy is qv, or else 3mkt, because in case of thermal neutron the kinetic energy is 3 by 2 kt, where k is Boltzmann constant. So in the question you need to specify whether it is thermal particle they are asking at any temperature, then use this formula. Or they are asking like charge accelerated through potential difference, like electron, proton, alpha particle, deuteron, anything, then take this one. Or else kinetic energy, or else velocity, or else linear momentum. But three particles they used to ask, that is, one is proton. So if you consider mass of proton m and charge of proton is E, then another particle they will ask you 1h2 deuteron. That is, mass is here 2m but charge is same. And another one is helium, not helium, alpha particle. That means mass is 4 times that of mass of proton and charge is 2 times. So based on these three particles, usually they will ask comparison based question. So whose de Broglie wavelength is more, like that. So this way they can ask you the question. Don't go beyond this for CET and NEET level. Just this is enough. Just understand. Just remember formula. But don't forget to get perfection and fastness in doing calculation. That if you can manage, then you won't lose any marks in this chapter. And one of the important and easiest chapter in the entire physics. Damn sure question will come and you can do it very perfectly. So this is how the formulas will be there. Now let's see what type of questions we can get it in the entrance based on these things, so that you will get better idea. Now we'll solve at least some 10 questions. Question is, work function of a substance is 4 electron volt. So the work function value they have given. What is the value of work function they have given? 4 electron volt. The longest wavelength of light that can cause photoelectric emission from this substance is approximately. See, the longest wavelength is called threshold wavelength, lambda naught. So pi equal to hc by lambda naught. That is 4 electron volt they have given. Then they are asking what is the lambda naught. So lambda naught is hc by 4 electron volt. But I said you here one relation that when you know lambda in terms of angstroms, then you will get energy in terms of electron volt, or else 1240 by lambda in nanometer, then also you will get. Now here all options are given in terms of nanometer. So we have to find lambda means lambda. Now we want in nanometer. That means 1240 by energy you should substitute in electron volt. So that here 1240 by E value how much? 4. So 4 3s are 4 1s are 0. So 310 nanometer. So this way, as I said, based on the photon energy, you can solve the question. So here if you look at the question, so simple calculation, proper calculation is the main thing in this question. Now look at the next question. Sodium and copper have work function 2.3 electron volt and 4.5 electron volt respectively. Then the ratio of their threshold wavelengths is nearest to. See, sodium and copper have work functions 2.3 electron volt and 4.5 electron volt respectively. So they have given two work functions. One is 2.3 electron volt, another one is 4.5 electron volt. Then the ratio of their threshold wavelengths are in the ratio. So threshold wavelengths means pi equal to hc by lambda naught. So pi is inversely proportional to lambda naught. Now, lambda is inversely proportional to what? Pi. So they are asking ratio of threshold wavelength means that is pi 2 by pi 1. So pi 2 is 4.5 by 2.3. Now, what is the ratio? This will become approximately. So 20, see it's like point cancel. 23 2s are 0.46. So approximately it is like 2:1. So nearest to 2:1. Now, next question. The energy of photon of light is 3 electron volt. So energy of photon they have given as 3 electron volt. Then the wavelength of photon. So as I said, based on the photon energy lambda, all options are given in nanometer. So 1240 by energy in electron volt. Then you will get the answer in nanometer. So 3 4s are and 3 1s are 3 3s are. So 413 approximately nanometer. That means 412.5. See, so these kind of simple questions only important for CET and NEET level first stage. Now here we look at the question. The photon energy given and frequency they have given. Threshold frequency they have given. The maximum kinetic energy they are asking. So K maximum means E minus pi. So E value they have given in electron volt directly. So pi value we have to find it. So here nu naught given. So H nu naught. So pi equal to H nu naught equal to H is 6.6 into 10 power minus 19 into nu naught is 1.6 into 10 power plus 15. This is in terms of joules. But we want in terms of electron volt. See, 1 electron volt equal to 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 joules. And 1 joule will become 1 by 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 electron volt. So this is in terms of joules. Now you have to convert it into electron volt. So what can I do? I can divide with 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. Sorry. Here H value is minus 34. Please correct it. So if you solve this one, then you will get in terms of electron volt. Once you do this calculation, like 1.6, 1.6 cancel, then 10 power minus 19 goes up. Then 19 plus 15, 34. So this will become 6.6 electron volt. So this is 6.6. Then K maximum is E minus pi. E is 8 and pi is 6.6. So approximately 1.4. So what is the answer? 1.4 electron volt. So this way you can do the questions with a proper formula and careful calculation. Now let's take the another question. Ultraviolet light of wavelength 200 nanometer is incident on polished surface of ferrous iron. Work function of the surface. So work function they have given as 4.71 electron volt. So what will be its stopping potential? Now they are asking stopping potential. So EV not equal to E minus pi, where E value is as lambda given in nanometer 1240 by 200, 0 cancel, 0 gone means point. So 6.2 electron volt. This is E. Now EV not equal to E minus, E is 6.2 electron volt minus pi is, work function is 4.71 electron volt. Now EV not equal to approximately 1.5 electron volt. So electron get cancelled. So V naught is how much? 1.5 volt. So what is the answer? 1.5. Whenever, see, energy, EV naught means what I said? A charge E accelerated through a potential difference V naught. Same way here, 1.5 electron volt means what? Charge accelerated through a potential difference of 1.5 volt. That's why what is the potential difference? 1.5 volt. So you can find it easily. Now, the next question, comparison based question. When light of wavelength 300 nanometer falls on a photoelectric emitter, photoelectrons are liberated. For another emitter, light of wavelength 600 nanometer is sufficient for liberating photoelectrons. The ratio of the work function of the two emitters is, see, for first one 300 nanometer. So this is the threshold wavelength, and for the other one this is the threshold wavelength. So they are asking work function ratio. So work function means hc by lambda. So it is inversely proportional to wavelength. So pi 1 by pi 2 is lambda 2 by lambda 1, that is 600 by 300, that will become 2. So already we have done one question similar. Now sometimes they will give question based on equations, not like numerical values. See this question. When photon of energy h nu falls on an aluminum plate, the photoelectrons of maximum kinetic energy K are ejected. If the frequency of the radiation is doubled, the maximum kinetic energy of the ejected photoelectrons is. So what is the K maximum general equation? H nu minus pi. So here one situation is energy h nu and the corresponding kinetic energy K, work function is E naught. That means K equal to h nu minus E naught. Now if the frequency of the radiation is double, now nu value became double, then the maximum kinetic energy will become, let's say K dash, where now the frequency will become double. Now same material, so the work function remains same. Now what I can write is this one, h nu plus h nu minus E naught. So k dash equal to, here h nu minus E naught, I can write it as k. So h nu plus k. So what is the new kinetic energy? H nu plus k plus h nu. So this way, manipulation of equation, comparison only, but manipulation of equation, not just like numerical values they have given. So this type of question also they used to ask sometimes. Now the next question, the velocity of the most energetic electrons emitted from a metallic surface is doubled when the frequency nu of the incident radiation is doubled. Work function of this metal is C, K maximum, sorry, V maximum. So half m V maximum square equal to E minus pi. Now the velocity is doubled when frequency doubled. That means h nu minus pi. So here as frequency became double, the velocity also became double. Then they are asking work function. Means one equation is half m V square equal to h nu minus pi. Another equation is half m V square will become 2V and nu also becomes 2 minus pi. Now here 4 times half m V square equal to 2 h nu minus pi. Now half mv square value substitute here. So 4 times h nu minus pi equal to 2 h nu minus pi. Now if you solve this equation, 4 h nu minus 4 pi equal to q h nu minus pi. So take this side, bring this side. Then 2 h nu equal to 4 pi minus pi, 3 pi. So pi equal to 2 h nu by 3. So this way, again, what kind of question? Manipulation of equations. So this type of question also they used to ask. Now, a photosensitive surface is receiving light of wavelength 5000 angstrom at the rate of. Now here they have given power, energy by time. So power means what? Nh nu by t. So power value they have given. Anyhow per second. So t is 1 second. Now the number of photons. So n equal to pt by h nu. Where h nu, how do you find it? So h nu equal to 12,400 by 5,000. 0, 0 cancel point. So 5 2s are 5 4s are approximately 2.48 electron volt. So electron volt, how can you convert it into joules? So you have to multiply with 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. So this is h nu value. Now you take this and substitute here. Then you will get the number of photons. As I said, the question can be asked based on the power or intensity also. Now, one more question. The threshold wavelength for a metal having work function W naught is lambda naught. What is the threshold wavelength for metal work function, where metal whose work function is W naught by 2? So if you take the pi 2 by pi 1 equal to lambda 1 by lambda 2. Now they are asking lambda 2. So lambda 2 equal to pi 1 lambda 1 by pi 2. So where pi 1 is W naught, lambda 1 is lambda naught, pi 2 is W naught by 2. So how much you will get? 2 lambda naught. So such a simple comparison based. Without any confusion, if you understand the question, then solution will become easier. Now as I said, sometimes they will give the question based on graphical based. So kinetic energy maximum and frequency h nu minus pi. So this is on y-axis, this is on x-axis. Now this is the slope and this is the like intercept. Now what they are asking, work function of the material. Work function place what is their intercept. So this is the intercept. So what is the intercept according to it? 1.5. So if you compare in this manner, you will come to know that in place of intercept, work function is there. How much it is? Till this means 1.5. So what is the answer? 1.5 electron volt. So they may give the graph and they will ask, or they may give the equation and they'll ask you to draw the graph. Like, now let us take one more question. See here, Photoelectric effect experiments are performed using three different metal plates P, Q and R having work functions. So different work functions are there. Now, first of all, you find corresponding. See here, these are the work functions and these are the lights falling on it. Now you find the photon energy for each of them. For this one, so 1240 by 550. So approximately 0 cancel. So 2.25 will come. Then second one. Second one is 1240 by, that is 450. This is approximately 2.75 will come. Now third one, 1240 by, the third one is 350. This will come approximately 3.5 electron volt. Now, what they are asking is correct IV graph for the experiment. So here if you take PQR material, see, the work function, E1 if you consider, C1 2.25. 2.25 means it can emit only P. It cannot emit from Q and R because their work function is more. And 2.75 if you consider, it can emit P. See, this can emit only from P. But this can emit from P and Q but not from R. And this one can emit from P, Q, R. So if you consider from P, all the energies can, all photons can emit. That means more electrons can emit. So more current will be there for P. And if you consider R, from R only one wavelength can emit. That means less photons will be there. So less electrons will come out. So less current. So comparatively, this is the correct one. So P more than Q than R. So this is the correct option. So this way you need to compare. Now, so different wavelengths of potential means different frequencies so that there is a different stopping potential. Now lesser the wavelength means greater the frequency. So accordingly you can decide the graphical analysis questions also. Now let's take the next question based on de Broglie wavelength. An electron is accelerated through a potential difference. So the question is about accelerating through potential difference means de Broglie wavelength is h by root of 2mqv. But h is constant, 2 is constant, electron mass, electron charge all are constant. If you substitute, it will come around 12.27 by root v. This is like a shortcut formula. You can remember. So that easily you can get it. So if you substitute, then you will get it easily. But this is directly you will get in terms of angstroms. Or you can substitute each and every value and you can solve it. Now, I said you sometimes comparison based questions will come. So now one is proton and alpha particle accelerated from rest to the same energy, same kinetic energy. So the de Broglie wavelength. So lambda equal to h by root 2mk in terms of kinetic energy. So kinetic energy same, h same. So lambda is inversely proportional to square root of mass. Now lambda for proton by lambda for alpha they are asking the ratio. Now that will become m alpha by m proton. And I already gave mass of alpha particle means 4 times that of proton. So that root 4 means 2:1. So option 1. Now an electron of mass m and a photon have mass energy E. See, one is photon energy E. Another is electron particle. So one is de Broglie wavelength of a particle and another one is de Broglie wavelength of photon. See, first if you consider for electron wavelength is equal to h by p. So kinetic energy of the
here they have given as E equal to P square by 2m, where P equal to H by lambda. So if you substitute H square by 2m lambda square, this is the case of electron. In case of electron, what is the energy associated with it? Now if you consider the another one, photon, E equal to H nu or Hc by lambda. So both energies are same, means if you equate it, now let's take the ratio. This is like lambda for electron, this is lambda for proton. Now we want ratio of lambda E by lambda P. Now as both are equal, first equate them, both of them. So Hc by lambda P equal to H square by 2m lambda E whole square. So H get cancelled. Now if you take the ratio lambda E, you bring this side. Lambda E square by lambda P equal to H by 2mc. But we want lambda E by lambda P. So lambda E by lambda P equal to H by 2mc into lambda E. One more lambda E extra is there. So you better take one lambda E and you keep one lambda E here only. Now this one. But answer is not in terms of lambda E. Then how can you replace this lambda E? Now take this equation. So lambda E square equal to H square by 2me. Then lambda E equal to under root it will become, so H by root 2me. Now you substitute this value here. So if you substitute, then what it will become? Lambda E by lambda P equal to H by 2mc into 1 by lambda E equal to H by root of 2me. So H cancel. So here mu here root mu. So root of E by 2m. So this is the answer. You can remember this like a formula also. The ratio of de Broglie wavelength of electron and photon when their energies are equal. Now here one question given based on the graph, simple graph between linear momentum and wavelength. So P equal to H by lambda. So P is inversely proportional to lambda. It is like Y inversely proportional to X. So it must be a hyperbolic graph. So option B is correct. So this way you can solve the questions based on photoelectric effect and de Broglie wavelength. So try to understand the question, take the suitable formula and take care of proper calculation. Fast and perfect calculation is needed. That's it, nothing else. So we'll continue in the coming class. Thank you all of you. We'll meet on next class.